Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Today is Man Child. All right, so today up for review, we're going to go over the Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia Faker. Yeah, I'm super excited to have this particular Faker in the line now. You know, good old blue. It goes back to childhood. In the days of having a blue He-Man, I just thought it was awesome. Of course, he was a robot and a bad guy and had the same strength as He-Man. Now, of course, we did get a Faker in the Revelation line. That Faker went back to the vintage cartoon where he basically looked like He-Man with the tan skin, but the eyes would glow. The Revelations did him a little different. He has cybernetic damage. I'll bring him a review him with this Faker, of course, if you're not familiar. But I couldn't wait to get this one with the blue skin. I like that power sword. And the other thing is I love this head sculpt. That is a cool He-Man head sculpt for this line. I really hope that they give us another same exact head sculpt, but with tan skin to fit the first release Revelation He-Man. And here's a quick look with the art and back of the package. You want to check that out. We got our Faker there, and look at that. We have like Barbarian Skeletor in the background. And here's a close-up of the bio. You want to pause and read that. And dropping down, these are the four main figures in this Wave 9 assortment. So before we get into Faker, this is a good time to make some adjustments as far as the Wave 9 Grizzlor figure. So I did review him. If you didn't see it, you can go check it out. Or somebody else's channel if they have it. Just going over some comments. For the most part, a lot of people like the figure. It's kind of a mix of comments, but mainly positive. Some funny things I thought people mentioned is like he looks like the 1987 movie Beastman. So yeah, I kind of see that. If you could use him for customs, maybe make a movie Beastman, which a lot of people wanted. Some people said he looked like the Teen Wolf. Okay, I could see that. So they're just some of the funny comments. The other things, though, that's I think more important, reason why I'm bringing this up, and not to get too far off topic, is the buck on him. All right, so obviously I have all the armored off to save time. And, I think in my video I just said, when I go over the buck, goes, yeah, it looks like a standard Viking He-Man buck with fur, or a Stinkor buck, I think I said. Quite a few people in comments said, well, it's a Beastman buck. Yes and no. So let me show you why. So bringing in the first Revelation release Beastman. Now, I customized mine with some classic parts. This is the classic, armor he has, and same thing with the armor pieces that go up on the arms. I had to modify these. I showed a video on this. Now, the thing is, it's like kind of yes and no as far as the buck. Now, the armor's on, but you can see the upper part has, I had to cut that fur piece off to get this, and I say that you can always glue it back on, it actually pops off, to put this Classics armor piece on. So, you can see that in the back with this Beastman, and Grizzlor doesn't have that. The arms are pretty much the same, the legs, but of course, different boots, different hands. Now, bringing in Stinkor, it looks to me like an identical Stinkor buck, right? Turn around as the front and back. Side again, hands and boots are different. So that's what I see. I just kind of want to clarify that in the comments anyway. All right, so before we move on to Faker, the last point is heads. Now, I did change out. I had the Origins Grizzlor head, which fit pretty cool in this. I had the power conversion, so it was darker, but if you had the Mid-Hell Creations, it probably matched better, and it did look good. And I put this head on that body. Again, you can check the video out. Question is, the classic heads fit on Grizzlor. Now, a lot of people watch my channel. Most of my expensive classics are in car, like Grizzlor. It's very expensive to get. I like these figures in car, but you kind of see the difference in fur color. That head would probably look awesome on it, but the fur is off. So the heads would probably fit, but usually the pegs, it's smaller on the Masterverse. You could push them down, heat them, whatever. However, I am willing to sacrifice another type of classics head that might fit on him. I'll show you. So here's a quick look at the Masters Universe Classics Heads of Eternia accessory pack. It's one of those things I've had in card for years, but you know what? I'm willing to open it up because I do have a 2000X style Grizzlor head in the pack. And once again, the fur is very light. It could kind of match something between this fur and the legs. But let's turn this guy into a 2000X inspired Grizzlor and see how that fit, the head fits on that peg. So I'm going to open this up and we'll check it out. And for anybody who's curious, here's a quick look at all his heads out of package, and it's not a review on that. This whole video is about Faker, and we're getting off topic, but I'm just trying to catch up with the Grizzlor comments and whatnot. But here's the head. Okay, the Classics head, 2000X inspired for Grizzlor, and let's pop it on, see what it looks like. Okay, and there you go. So I did have to heat this head with a blow dryer, that peg hole in there, because I could not get it on. It was really difficult, but it looks really cool. Yeah, the only problem is the fur. It's very light. Does not match this. If that was a little darker, this was lighter, it would be perfect. But you can make it work, you know. It could just be his own fur armor piece, and the hair matches the, yeah, I guess the hair on the body. I guess that makes sense, sort of, right? Does look good, articulate, very tight, though, with the classics. So if you're curious what the classics, at least the 2000 head looks like and how it went on, not bad. And the other one, if you had it out of card, would do the same thing, but have the more vintage-inspired look. All right, so getting back to Faker, the whole point of this review. Hopefully everybody's good on Grizzlor. So yeah, obviously we have him at a card. Yeah, looking good. I like that head sculpt. Really cool. You know, it's a whole different head sculpt, or a whole different He-Man head sculpt. Doesn't share. At first, I thought it was the like looking at it, the alternate head for the Viking He-Man is part of that new Eternia line, but it's not. I'm gonna bring it ahead and show you real quick. So here's a quick look at that alternative Viking head He-Man, or the unhelmeted head. So I thought maybe it had something to do with that, but yeah, totally different head He-Man head sculpt. So maybe we have another He-Man coming to the new Eternia line in this style, but of course, you know, not blue, tan, and his chest armor. That would be awesome. I really like that head sculpt. Yeah, I love the way the cheekbones are done. The hair is awesome. Dark orangish color. As far as the articulation, it's all typical Masterverse, left, right, down, forward, back. Yeah, check out the eyes in there, painted white with some blue, like blue glowing highlights in there. So moving down to the chest and buck, we got the that's the Barbarian Skeletor armored here, but obviously in a purple color and stuff. I'm surprised it ain't orange, but it is new Eternia, trying to do something a little different. So you can, if you're familiar with the Barbarian Skeletor, but if not, you can see all the different sculpting in there, the crossbones. It's all part of the armor. If you're not familiar, it has these little shoulder pieces there, right? The front, and there's the back, and of course a place to put the sword or axe. And to remove the armor, I just break these two straps like I already did. It'll pop apart, and looks like we have to take the head off. And then the armor is just going to flip right off like that. And if you're not familiar with the Barbarian Skeletor, there's a closer look at the armor, all colors on it. How soft it is off the figure. So moving back to the buck, we'll leave the armor off for now. Yeah, Viking He-Man style buck, but of course in a blue. But look at this. There's some extra. Oh, wow. This is not a sticker. This is actually all sculpting. Bring that in. Take a closer look at that. Check that out. It's all sculpting in paint. Wow, you can feel it. You can even feel little buttons and the circuitry coming out. That's awesome. Even in the back, he's got some plugs in there. Extra sculpting going on. Wow. So moving on with the buck, we know this all sculpted. That's incredible. That, the head, wow, this Faker's getting better and better. Blue. So we know we can turn it to, you know, that ab crunch, go forward and back, spin at the waist. So, all right, mine's a little tight. As far as the arms, that too has got a little extra, like, you know, circuitry cut in there on the arms. Little mechanics going. A little different on both sides. So even here in the bicep. As far as our articulation, let's see, up, down, forward, back, spin at the bicep. Can bend all the way in at the elbow. Faker comes with two closed gripping weapon hands, I call them. Two additional hands we'll bring in soon. We know they can spin or hinge joints. And so these can go in and out. I didn't know if he had the power sword one. They just both go in and out. He has two wrist bracers done black, well, black with like a silver wash, or maybe they're silver with a black wash on them. I don't know. I don't think they come off. So let's pop the hand off there. So our hand, and no, these are glued on, but they can. It looks like if you want them modified, they could come off. It's not like part of the sculpt. All right, so putting the hand back on, we checked out the arms, the upper torso. Yeah, I'm liking it. What I see. Moving down, we have the belt and loincloth. This looks like the same exact belt and loincloth that the Viking He-Man has, or that style new Eternia figures. So all, yeah, you kind of see it's soft purple. This is same thing, a silver with a black wash, or one or the other, just like the bracers, pretty cool. On our legs, everything typical, and go all the way out with a split. Has that thigh cut, go forward, back, bend it all the way up at the knee, and then has just typical new Eternia style He-Man boots, purple with some black lacing. It's all part of sculpt, painted black, right? And then of course we have our foot and go up, down, rock side to side. So moving on to Faker's accessories, of course we get two additional hands. We get an open karate chop or open hand for the left side, and then a complete punch and fist for the right. Now I don't use these. I'm just going to keep the weapon gripping hands on, but you do get those. So now you get this new power sword for Faker. It looks awesome. Yeah, purple. Same thing. It looks like it's silver with a purple wash over it, you know, and it has that grip like the handle. So it's kind of going back to the vintage figure, something like that. And then for his last accessory, he also gets this cool looking axe, painted in typical Faker style orange, going back to the vintage, but it's battle damaged with a hole in it. So it looks like it's meant to be silver, but that's the way they painted it in orange. Surprised the sword ain't orange either, but I guess they're mixing it up. Mixture of Perp Skeletor and traditional Faker colors. Now this looks like the same axe that came with the new Eternia battle armored He-Man, but without the battle damage, and his was all silver. And here's a quick look with Faker with his weapon setup in hand. Just threw the power sword in the right hand and the axe on the left. You can switch it up, but it looks awesome. Check that out. And then with the holder on back of the armor, you can see if you can fit the axe. So I think the axe can fit in there. You got to work it through. Looks something like that. And then, of course, the power sword to fit like that. That looks the best. And seems like it goes in from the right side, just the angle. So as far as parts and mixing and matching a little bit, let's focus on Masterverse. So, of course, in the Masterverse series, we have this Revelation first release Faker that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Of course, it came from the Revelation cartoon. I think it was actually Skeletor. It was Faker. But that's what he looked like. It was all right, pretty cool. I like this look the best with that cybernetic head. I was hoping it would come out with a variant where the whole body was done in this silver. Like if all the skin, was had battle damage. That would be awesome. I guess you can always paint it, but take a look at that. And he does have traditional Skeletor armor that goes back to that Revelation cartoon, but this is different from the sculpting a little bit than this new Eternia armored. So it's kind of those two together. I'm going to check that out. So for a little part swapping, obviously I took off the Revelation Skeletor armor from that Faker and put it on this blue Faker. If you want to keep in the traditional orange, going back to the vintage or classics, that really looks cool. Kept the head on. Used the orange sword from that Faker and of course his axe. So now we have a really traditional Faker. And the other part we can use off the Revelation Faker that works good on this one is the cybernetic head with the battle damage where all this skin and hair would be destroyed. Yeah, and it works out well. It matches the silver inside this this chest circuitry there, and articulates. And this is the purple armored on this first release Revelation Faker body. You want to do something like that. It's the only thing. You can mix it up. I mean, obviously we're not going to use the head. It's blue. Doesn't make sense, but let's check that out. And for another quick comparison, of course, we have our Master Universe Origins Faker next to our new Masterverse Faker, because these are two newest lines out, Origins and Masterverse, so you can see those side by side. And for you guys that customize, like to do that extra wacky fun, here's the Origins armored on this Masterverse body in the head, so it does fit and articulates. Looks okay, it's fun, but the skin color's off from this skin color, and you get these two back straps on, but this one doesn't. You sort of get, it keeps popping off, but anyway, you want to see what that looks like. And then here's a look with the Masterverse armored on the Origins, which fits really good and looks cool. And the head also looks cool, but the skin color is off, obviously, from the body. Articulates, fits on the ball peg okay. And for one last comparison, we'll throw a little classics next to our Masterverse Faker. Now, I'm not going to bother swapping heads and stuff. Totally different colors. This color is definitely close to the Barbarian Skeletor from that new Eternia series, because I actually have mine sit in the background. Colors are very close to this. Yeah, side the colors, the head would probably fit on him, and again, it doesn't work color, so why do it? Now, this is the battle armor version, I said, and this battle armor does not fit on the Masterverse figure. So the classics battle armor doesn't fit on Masterverse. Tried it, doesn't work, can't get it together. But if you had the orange Skeletor armor for the Faker and the classics, that will fit on the Masterverse like the He-Man. It's very tight, but it does work. But anyway, it's just the size comparison and two different Fakers. I'm going to check those out. So overall, I think this is a really cool Faker for this Masterverse line. Definitely the one I always wanted or was expecting, something like this. I don't really have a He-Man to compare it to, even though we have a lot of different He-Mans out. The Revelation He-Man looks totally different. I mean, similar body. But I have a feeling, just by this different head sculpt, that we have a new Eternia He-Man coming. It's going to look just like this. Again, with the head sculpt, of course, this body, the new belt, loincloth, and, tan to match this Faker. That type of sword and axe, maybe. But silver, that would be awesome, because this would be a perfect look for He-Man in the new Eternia line. I think it came out great. So I appreciate all you guys watching. And until next time, take care.